Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie, the Introverted Reader, and haven't seen you guys in a bit. This is the first in over a week that I've, put on makeup and, look like a real human being. But yeah, I just wanted to do a fun little tag video for you guys. I am going back to work next week. If you follow me on social media, you probably already know this, but I'm going back to work next week. A little bit nervous, but at the same time, I am glad to be back. I will be glad to be back again. So videos, you might just be getting, obviously the wrap-ups and the TBRs and whatever for the next wee while, so bear with me. But anyway, this is the Reading Habits book tag. I don't know the original creator of this tag, so if you guys know who it is, please let me know in the comments so that I can leave a pinned comment above and give them a shout out, because I would just like to know, because I searched around and I couldn't find. So the first question, bookmarks or a random piece of paper? I've always used bookmarks. I mean, whenever I first started reading as a child and I didn't have a bookmark, I used to dog-ear pages, don't anymore. But yeah, primarily I would use a bookmark. I have a book tin right there on top of the chest of drawers that has some bookmarks in there, so I always like to use a bookmark, or at least try to find something that could be a bookmark, but whatever. Stop reading randomly or stop after a chapter, certain amount of pages. See, I used to just stop completely randomly. I used to be such a chaotic little reader. I would just stop whenever I wanted to stop reading, but then it would be hard for me to find wherever I left off. Especially if it was in the middle of a conversation between two characters. So now I prefer to just stop at a chapter. I look at how many pages I have left in the chapter and I'm like, right, we'll read these last few pages and then we'll stop. So yeah, that would be able to do. I like to stop at a chapter so as I know where I stand in the story. Certain place at home for reading. My bed over there. It's lovely and comfortable. I have my blanket, my Harry Potter blanket that my mom got for me for Christmas, not last year, year before. Yeah, I have that, and yeah, I snuggle up with that and I read. Or if it's nice and bright outside like it is today, one of those rare occasions where the sun is actually out. We have a nice back garden, so I would, with a little bench, so I would go out and sit out there, get a little bit of fresh air about me, but most times I sit on my bed. Let me see. Eat or drink while reading? The only time I ever really eat while I'm drinking is whenever I'm in work. So whenever I'm back at work again and I'm on a lunch break or whatever, I would sit and eat whilst reading, but never anything that could be messy, if you know what I mean. I try and be very careful to not eat while I'm reading, because just things could get messy and crumbs get everywhere. But I always like to have a drink whenever I'm reading. I have my bottle of water or a hot drink or something. So yeah, a little bit of both, not a whole lot, but mostly I would have a drink beside me. Music or TV while reading? I do like to have music on while I'm reading, but very low volume. Just sort of in the background. Not TV. No, I can't really concentrate on reading whenever the TV's on. But so either complete silence or background music. One book at a time or several. I never used to be the type of person that would read multiple books at once. As of lately, I have to have a physical read, a book on my Kindle, and an audiobook. I have a book on every possible format. Or sometimes the book that I'm physically reading is on Audible, or I change, this past year or so, I haven't really been reading multiple books at once. I like to focus my attention purely on one, because there's only so much room up here, you know what I mean? So ideally, just one book at a time. Reading at home or everywhere? I like to read at home, obviously, because home is, just nice and quiet, and I can control the volume when I'm at home. I would read in work like before my shift starts. Like our locker room is primarily quite quiet, so, and there's like a little seat in there that I would sit on to like read before my shift starts. You know, I could read in a coffee shop. You know, whenever coffee shops are open again, I would happily go into a coffee shop and read. I've done that before. So pretty much everywhere, as long as it's not too loud. Like if it's too loud and it's just getting too much for me and it's getting a little bit like overloady, I'm like, oh, no. But yeah, although I would prefer just being at home reading, if I'm being honest, because then nobody's around to distract me. Nobody's around asking me, hey, what are you reading? I'm like, go away. Reading out loud or silently. Silently. I had to teach myself as a child to read in silently, because whenever I was a child and like reading books for the first time, I would just sit and read them out loud. But then my sister was like, no, into yourself. And I'm like, how do you do that? So I had to like teach myself how to do that. But sometimes I would like inevitably like mouth along to like the words, if you know what I mean. But like I'm good at reading into myself. Do you ever read ahead or skip pages? I would only ever read ahead if like a certain character in the book that I'm reading who is like my favorite character and they're not around for whatever reason, I would like flick through some pages and I would wait to see their name and I'd be like, oh, when are they coming back? Oh, they'll be back in this chapter. All right, that's okay. So that's really the only time I would ever do that, or to like, I don't know, skip to just say or to like see how many pages I've got left. But like, I don't skip pages because then I just get confused and then I'm like, no, what was the point in doing that? But I would only ever like look ahead to see if like a character I like is going to be back anytime soon, and then I would go back to where I was. Breaking the spine or keeping it like new? Oh my lord. Like I said, when I was younger, we were a very chaotic reader and I would break the spine. But then as I got older, I realized, I remember somebody telling me that like a teacher actually told me this. One of my favorite teachers, well, probably my only favorite teacher that I actually liked in primary school, told me that if you break the spine of a book, it just destroys it. Like it'll just fall apart. He was like, no, you don't want to do that because it's like that holds the book together. Like you don't want to break it. And then I'd be like, oh dear. So since then, I don't break the spines of my paperbacks. Obviously, hardback is different because hardback, you know, hardback doesn't get creases. But yeah, I like to keep it like new. People are actually really shocked whenever they see my books and they're all like, did you only get that brand new? And I'd be like, I've had that for years and I've read and reread it like 3 times. Like it's like I was giving away books the other day to my cousin who works in a secondary school, and my mummy was looking at the books that I was giving away and she was like, these look like, did you even read any of these? And I'm like, yes, I did. I did. Do you write in your books? There's a few books I've written in, but I don't really like to, just because obviously I like to obviously unhaul them at some stage. But yeah, that is all the questions. Let me know if you know who the original creator of this tag is. Leave it in the comments down below and answer me this. I want to ask you guys a question. What question should I ask you guys? Let me see. Oh, okay. I'll ask you guys, what's your favorite place to read at home? Because obviously we're spending a lot more time at home. So where is your spot at home that you like to read? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, that's it for the Reading Habits book tag. I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Twitter, Instagram, down below as always, and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one, which will be my wrap up for the month of March. Bye.